Marcus Hayes, Fight Hub TV, here with the legendary Julian Jackson. What's going on, Hawk? How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. It's just again a pleasure to be here in Las Vegas. This was almost like my second home. I lived here for 4.5 years. You know what I'm saying? And to come back, and be inducted, I mean, it's amazing. And I tell you what, when I left the Virgin Islands, okay, I want the world to know this: that before I came to Las Vegas, I made a commitment to God to make me the world champion. And leaving the Virgin Islands, coming to Las Vegas, you understand, was history. And I became the world champion first time. You know what I'm saying? And it's always a pleasure to be here in Las Vegas. This is where I won my first title. And I tell you what, man, it's just a blessing to be here.
Absolutely. Hawk, you were one of the most devastating and surprising, shocking knockout artists in boxing. Tell us kind of what went into the fury behind those hands of yours.
Well, a lot of people will think it's fury, but you know what? It was a gift. I believe that God gave me the opportunity to be able to punch like that. And some people might think that, wow, it's difficult. Why would God allow you to knock guys out like that? But you know what? Nobody never got injured like that, fighting me. And as fierce as it may look or appear, I always believe that, that nothing harmful will happen to anyone that I punch or that punch me, that knocked me out as well. But I tell you what, I am so grateful that boxing was the very career, that I choose. And, I'm just glad to be an ex world champion.
A stone cold knockout artist. And just like the cold, knockouts are a lot like snowflakes. What in your career, what KO would you say was your favorite over the years?
Wow, one of my favorite, I think, was Buster Drayton, Terry Norris. Those were the favorite because, it's just like dramatically, it's just like maybe unintentionally, I did things, in the ring that when I hit them, I knew they couldn't stand up. And
give me the Buster Drayton. Buster Drayton is famous for the hand, Hawk. If you can just do the hand for us one last time to show the knockdown of Buster Drayton.
Yeah, it's almost like cutting a tree and you say timber, and he went down. And it was just I guess it was just my instinct, that did that. And it's just amazing how things happen, in careers, in my career.
Then the KO of Terry Norris. Yes. Terry Norris was a guy that you called out time and time again. You finally got the matchup. Unlike the guys of today who call guys out and don't KO guys, what did it feel like to have such animosity with Terry and to knock him out the way that you did?
Well, it's all about, getting the opportunity to fight, the best fight. And Terry Norris was one of the upcoming fighters that was tremendous. He's a good boxer, very quick on his hands. But I believe that my power, I believe that my pressure would have definitely succumbed to him. And it literally happened. And, I just wanted to let the world know, that the Virgin Islands also can produce world champions.
Definitely. One of the greatest welterweights of all time. 3 titles, 2 different weight classes. A legend.
Biggest puncher in the history of the middleweight division.
Woo, man, I respect this man.
Mauricio, what's your favorite moment from Julian Jackson over the years?
The Aztec Stadium.
Yes. Wow. Over 60,000 people, man. That's the first time I've ever stood before a crowd. I mean, it was just amazing, and had the opportunity to go out there and do my best and knock my opponent out, I think in the 4th round, somewhere like that.
He got hurt in the second. He came back and knocked him out.
Yes. It was a tremendous opportunity.
He could punch.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man. God bless.
Being a legend like you are, Julian, in the welterweight division, we've got some youngsters that are looking to hold the mantle in the welterweight division, namely Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford. What do you think about a potential bout between those two?
Wow. I love Crawford. Crawford is a tremendous athlete. I think I really believe that he has tremendous timing, the best timing that I've seen. And he uses his his mental, I believe, capacity, the best that I've ever seen, really. And I really enjoyed looking at Terence Crawford. And again, he's one of the athletes that I have really admired, and that has a lot of power. He's unpredictable as well. He looks as if you can walk over him, but believe me, he's not. And that's what makes him really dangerous.
How do you think a fight between him and Spence goes?
Wow, it's going to be a tough fight, but I believe that I believe Crawford is going to take it. I think he's going to hurt him, and there's a possibility he might knock him out.
We've got a good rematch coming up here pretty soon. We've got a pair of rematches. We've got Devin Haney versus George Kambosos Jr. The rematch. Devin Haney just went over to Australia and beat George Kambosos for all the belts. How do you think a rematch between them goes, Hawk?
Again, the American style of boxing, I think, is always, ahead. It's always a edge above. I think the European style, and I think Haney's gonna take it again.
Canelo Triple G3, September 17th. What do you think a rubber match, the third fight between those two? How do you think that plays out?
Oh man, that's gonna be a tremendous fight. Canelo, a tremendous athlete. You know what I'm saying? But Triple G, wow, is also a throwback, and he reminds me of me. He reminds me of the older fighters, and he has a lot of heart. He has a lot of dedication. And it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a task up. I think it's going to be a task up.
And lastly, champ, I'd like to get your reaction. We just saw Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk have their rematch. Joshua falling short in the rematch. What did you think about that fight?
Wow, that happens, and I think Joshua needs to go back to the drawing board again. There's a lot of things that I believe has been missing. You know what I'm saying? His timing, and the ability that, something happened somewhere along the line that I think affected him, and I think he needs to find himself, and his heart has to be in it. And I don't know, man, if he still has it or not, but Joshua is a tremendous athlete. But again, we're going to see what he's made of. You know what I'm saying? To lose twice and to come back, will be a difficult task. But I believe he could make it if he has the desire to do that.
Speaking of losing twice, champ, I'd be remiss if I didn't get to ask you about Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder making his comeback on October the 15th versus Robert Helenius. What do you think about Deontay Wilder?
Well, Deontay Wilder is a tremendous athlete as well. Again, it has to do a lot with their desire. It has a lot to do with their heart and what they put into it. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's up to the athlete. Because I've been there. You know what I'm saying? I've lost. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I lost my first shot at the world title again
versus Mike McCallum.
And you know what? That loss made me. And it caused me to work harder. It caused me to get into the gym and to be more, of a student to the art of boxing and to really make this thing work for me. And I tell you what, it turned things around for me. And I came back and I became the WBA junior middleweight champion of the world.
And for those of you that don't know out there, the Hawk fought against Mike McCallum as a young and upcoming guy versus the elder statesman of his division, the then undefeated Mike McCallum. You were stopped in the second round. Is that correct?
Yes.
It was a second round stoppage. Talk to us about what it takes for a fighter to come back from a loss like that on the inside. What's it about?
Woo, man, you know what? I'll be honest with you. I wanted to disappear off the face of the earth. You know what I'm saying? But it took a lot of guts. It took a lot of I believe pride. You know what I'm saying? I had to swallow my pride, as a matter of fact. You know, I had to swallow my pride. But I tell you what, God entered my life at that time. You know, somebody told me your friends might turn their back on you. The government might not even want to study you. But you know what? God will never leave you. And that's one of the reasons why I am who I am today. Okay? I gave my life to Jesus Christ. I became a man of God, and my whole career turned around after that.
There you have it, folks. A champion that continues to soar through life. Julian the Hawk Jackson. Julian, thank you for your time. I appreciate you, man. Thank you.